Good morning. We are heading down to the boat for a Monday morning check-in. I know nobody likes that. No one wants the client or the customer to check in first thing Monday, but this is a big week for the boat. We've waited a long time to get to this fiberglass work. This week's sort of our make it or break it. If this comes together the way they're saying it will this week, then we're kind of back on track and we can all take a deep breath and keep moving along. If this week unravels and they don't get it done the way they say they're going to, then we don't know. We might have to just look at putting the boat inside somewhere and going home for the summer, and it's just getting to that point. So hoping for a good week. Tell me what that sound is.
The fiberglass.
Did you ever think we'd ever hear that sound?
And
It's a good day.
Yeah.
So it doesn't look terrible with just a white Sea Ray logo in there, but kind of want it put back the way it was. So we're sort of matching now, seeing if we're going to use a different color or leave it white.
I think we should leave it just the white. To me, it doesn't look like it's not supposed to be white. I think it's going to look way worse to have it off color. You know, I think that's going to bother you especially more. I think this is fine.
Okay.
And let's finish.
In the interest of getting her done, I agree.
Great.
Good morning. We got kind of an interesting day today. My daughters had been up to visit us, which was great. A lot of good family time here in Orange Beach and kind of distracted us from the boat project. But everybody's kind of gone home now and we're getting close to splashing the boat. I mean, maybe within a week or so. So since I've got nothing going on, the guys at Kilker Boat Works have agreed to put me to work today and tomorrow, which is today's Thursday and tomorrow's Friday, and then sort of turn me loose over the weekend so I can see if I can't do something, sand, paint, whatever, to keep this thing moving. We're also about 5 days from having to check out of our rental, which is really tough this time of year here in Orange Beach because we have a dog, so it has to be dog friendly, and it's getting close to their season, and we're not quite ready to move on the boat. So I'm down here working on Andromeda today with the crew, and we'll see how that goes, and hopefully I'll get some kind of target date of when we can move back on the boat, live on it on the hard, use the marina showers. I don't know, it's getting confusing, but at least I'm down here to work on it today.
All right, so this is what's going to be called a finishing cloth. You typically see surfboards, carbon fiber pieces. This is just standard mat, a binder. This has got a sizing in it, then a polyester resin, basically styrene in it, will break down the sizing, and then it'll actually, this is that laminate layer. Biaxial has the same stuff. You cannot use this with epoxy.
Oh, that's right.
Epoxy
Okay.
doesn't have the styrene in it to melt it down. Then you've got biaxial. It basically comes in multiple formats, but you have 090, 045, and a lot of it has to do with the way the stitching is. So you get cross stitching in here, and then you got seam stitching here. So we use a 45 degree, helps it bend better in radiuses. And then you have woven down at the bottom, which is for a lot of big bulk building.
That just, that builds something up quick.
Right.
Okay.
Exactly. And then we just have the same stuff, we buy it in tapes.
What's got the most structure to it?
Usually the biaxial's got the most, because you're dealing with the mat as far as adhesion on the bottom. And so that mat is sewn into it versus being made like this with no structure to it. Filling in a lot of these little voids right here. I just don't like having, because you can't get glass down in them. So I'm not worried that it's going over the bottom paint at all, because you know why? It's going to fall back into place. Now if it's imperfect, you can always come back and use a lightweight fairing compound, or we use epoxy, what I call all fair. So I tend to do my rises first for gravity purposes, because it'll hold.
Yeah.
Try to get it out as much as possible. You see me kind of stretching down.
Yeah.
And it's proud as it is. And so then, now I'm bringing it. See, I'm tapering my corner.
Yep.
And I'm just dragging my corner. And you're basically just making sure everything lays down. I don't have a ton of burrs. All those little fingerlings can just go far, 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 far out. No big deals.
So that actually, all those little fingerlings are actually help binding it anyway.
That's right. So we're going to be grinding back to that spot where the gel cut is anyway. That's why I wanted it super, super proud.
Yep.
That's it.
Looks good. over Christmas had the captain's chair sent out because the metal bracket, the metal bracket that holds this front bolster, was cutting through from leaning on it, was cutting through here and starting to pop through here. So we took it to a local upholstery shop. They put new foam in and stitched it all up. They did a great job, and finally got the chair mounted back on. Good to go. It's the end of the day, Friday. What a week. The engine is slid back forward where it belongs. This here is where the transmission goes. That is a new torsion coupler on the back of the engine. Again, it's Friday and everybody's kind of clearing out, but the front engine mounts are on. The engine is slid forward. A lot of things hooked back up. These are the rear engine mounts and the repair job, but now the people can get access to this. They'll finish gel coating everything, and so the gear is due back here Monday. The transmission sits here, and they will come and finish reassembling the engine. The bottom hull fiberglass work is done and ready to be sanded. I'm going to come down tomorrow with one of the guys at the yard, and we're going to get back in that corner and put the steering back together. While we're doing that, the fiberglass guys Monday will finish the top of the strut, and middle of next week we can start putting everything back together. And right now the plan is to put us in the water the end of next week. Rainy Saturday morning. We are now 6 days from putting the boat in the water. So yesterday, Friday, was a good day. I was able to get some schedules, some timelines. I was able to get the mechanic and the fiberglass and the yard guys all on board to put Andromeda back in the water a week from yesterday. So down here Saturday, I'm going to work with a couple of the guys coming in on Saturday. We're going to get the stuffing box in and the rudder shelf mounted, so the steering components are kind of all back together and ready for the rudder to go in when they're done grinding on the strut. And hopefully by midweek we're putting the drive line back together and staying on track to be put in the water Friday. So it's raining and kind of miserable out, so might as well be down in the engine room getting some stuff done. We are taking advantage of this blustery day to re-go through all of our inventory and to start organizing Andromeda and getting her back into shape for our trip. When we leave here in a week or a week and a half, we're going to make a mad dash to the Bahamas. So we're pleased with the inventory job we did prior, because everything does seem to be in order and falling into place, but we've got quite a mess in here and we're trying to clean it up because things just got stacked and we bailed out of here. And most important, it has felt great to spend all day on the boat. Even though we're working and cleaning, it just finally feels like we're home. So it's been a good day to be inside. It's been a good day to be on the boat. Sunday morning, and we have some detailers coming down to the boat to sort of wash the exhaust soot off the side and get a fresh coat of wax on it for the season. And we want to get that done today. They're super nice guys coming in on a Sunday because we're going to try and get some bottom paint on tomorrow. So they got to get this acid washing on the side done. Brett here at the yard is also coming in on Sunday. He's a worker, man, so he comes in every weekend anyway, but he's going to finish roughing in our rudder bar and our stuffing box in the back, so that those are ready to go for Monday. Unfortunately, late yesterday, Brett did find some additional cracking in the area of the rudder box, of the stuffing box. So as soon as the fiberglass guys get here tomorrow, we're going to have to address that and hopefully stay on track to get this boat in the water Friday. So this is the possible additional cracking. we want the surveyor and the fiberglass guy to look at that. We are getting ready to put the stuffing box back in for the rudder that sits down here. And as Brett cleaned up the area, he found this additional crack. We just want to make sure it's okay or address it before we put everything back together. I am down here at the boatyard. It's a Monday morning. We are about 5 days from getting set back in the water, and a lot of things are happening today and this week, and kind of everything has to fall into place just right to make this happen. So hopefully end of this week we're sitting in the water. This weekend we're moving back on the boat, and a couple days next week for some tweaks and a sea trial, and I hope we're out of here and moving on. It's been so long, it's crazy. Today we also have to move into a new rental. We got a smaller little temporary rental for a few days till we can get back on the boat. The current rental that we're at has just been amazing. It's a great place. It was great for a little family vacation to sort of distract us from this. And it also had a boat slip, so Mr. Furley, our dinghy, had a spot and we could take him out and at least enjoy that part on the water. But I have to get that dinghy out of there, so I don't know if I'm bringing it over to the marina that's connected to the boatyard and tying it in a slip. I don't know if I'm bringing it over and leaving it in their boat well, or if the guys are going to help me with a forklift and load it on the swim platform. So that all has to get done today. We found a little tiny hairline crack in the rudder hole, where the stuffing box goes to hold the rudder. So they're going to address that first thing this morning, sort of undiscovered. And I hope it's a quick fix. They're also finishing up the strut mounting area. That was probably the worst fiberglass damage and the hardest to get to. So hoping for good news on that. Getting a wax job done, a bottom paint job done, and then of course all the mechanicals, the engine finished, the driveline guys coming. So it's really kind of a chaotic week, but an exciting week to be to this point and be ready to go back in the water. So I'm about to head into the boatyard and spend the day on the boat and hoping for the best.
All good?
All good.
Cool.
Well, good news on the stuffing box or the rudder area crack. Got here first thing. They were already looking at it. It turns out some of what looked like a crack was just fiberglass fibers that had draped over. So they chiseled it out a little bit. Did find a small crack in that area, but it wasn't all the way through. So it's going to be a quick shot with the Dremel and get a couple layers on it and should be good to go. If a little chilly, if the fiberglass fires off quickly enough, it shouldn't slow anything down. And even if it does, we can go back and paint that area later. So that's good news. That's a good way to start the day. Now this is under the floor, aft in the boat. This is the top of the strut. This is where the strut mounts to the hull. So you can see he's ground down through quite a few layers to really get to the root of what cracked in this area. It seems to be the worst of the cracking, and of course it's the hardest to get to, and these are the ones we're afraid would spread out too far in the wrong direction. So good progress was made.
Allie's first time at the boatyard. All sorts of noises. He's nervous.
there's our little patch on the hairline crack in the rudder area. There's the repair from where the prop blade sliced the hull, all faired out and sanded. That is a little contraption we made to suck the dust out of the boat as they work on the strut area. And that is the shaft log up front, where the shaft goes into the boat. It was kind of cracked all around, so it's fiberglass, it's fairing, sanded down, and the last thing will be to sort of Dremel this out to the correct shape. And the bottom's been all power washed, and they're going to start priming and painting the bottom today. This is another issue here. This is our transducer, and it obviously took some kind of impact in the front, and it is not reporting in the lower hertz range. The lower signal range of this is not reporting, so we're getting inaccurate readings, and unfortunately they don't make this anymore, so we're gonna have to come up with some kind of repair or abandon this and drill another hole for a new transducer, or pull this off and fill it in and put another transducer. So hopefully that can get moving today also. Fiberglass all ground out of the shaft log and ready for paint. This is my scrap metal pile. It's got the old shaft, the old strut, our coupler, the rudders in there, the rudder shelf, and guys were nice enough to give me some scrap outriggers. I think they just wanted them out of their way, that have been sitting around since Hurricane Sally. So I cut those up yesterday for some aluminum. And before we head out of here, I have to load all this up into my truck and get it up to Foley to a scrap yard and hopefully get some money. It should be good. The prices on brass are up, and some of this stuff is really heavy, so hopefully we get some good money for that. Just left the boat, and we are going back to our current rental to load up the last of our things.
Rental number 3, by the way.
Rental number 3, moving to rental number 4. We're going to load up the truck with everything we got. I'm going to hop in the dinghy and take that around through the canals back over to the boatyard.
Ollie, I don't think knows what's happening right now. Poor guy. We're packing all up, and he's at the rental right now with just a few bags left, and I took his dog bowls, and I think he got triggered.
Yeah, Ollie's mind must be blown at this whole thing for sure. It's been a cool house. It was a great spot to stay. It was very nice that they gave us the time they did. They kind of gave us a deal being off season, and I think they were sympathetic to our boat situation. It's been a cool little house, a cool little chapter, but on to the next place, I guess. So I'm going to take Furley here down the canal and over to Orange Beach Boatyard. Home sweet home for a couple days. Not bad. Gulf's right across the street. Could be worse. But we are dying to get back on the boat. I spent all day there. My ass is kicked. I'm anxious to get back upstairs and chill out for a little bit, and stare out at the Gulf and think about things. Thursday. We're 24 hours-ish from putting the boat back in the water. And yesterday, a lot of things got done. We got a lot done. They got a lot done. Today's the big day if they're going to be able to get the drive line and everything put back together to get the boat in the water tomorrow. So leaving our rental here, hopefully one of the last days, and heading down to the boat this morning to see how things are going, see if I can help, or if I can help more by staying out of the way. And I'm also going to run the house batteries down to 50% today and charge them back up just to make sure they're okay. The workers accidentally turned them off and ran them down again, which is not good for AGM batteries, but we're hoping they're going to be okay. So I'm going to run them through a test cycle. And then also, once things get settled, I'm going to run all the scrap metal up to Foley to the scrap yard and see if I can't cash that in and get that junk out from underneath the boat. So big day. Hopefully we're in the water tomorrow. Fingers crossed, because it's just been really hard to get a concrete date for anything, but it's really shaping up like tomorrow we'll be back in the water. So that's our hope.
It's Thursday. It's about 10 to 5. Bob went home. He was here all day with me. He's got a whole nother layer of stuff he's dealing with, and he just finally had to kind of call it. And so I've just been here. Everyone's been working. Boat's not ready to get in yet, but we are hoping to splash supposedly tomorrow. Looks like if it's not tomorrow, it might be Saturday, and I would assume if it's not Saturday, it's Monday. I've just been trying to keep Bob in good spirits. We're almost at the end. It's been very, very hard. The guys that we've been working with have been great. It's just a lot of red tape and stuff that we had to dance through. So I've been working on, just the last few days especially, is really just trying to re-clean the boat. It's been sitting here since November 15th. We've been on and off and working on stuff, but it's just filthy. It's been quite the couple days for sure. Quite the couple months, but the couple days have been hard. But here's just a quick look of, I'll show you the outside. Engine room. I can't get to anywhere in there yet because they're still working, and the engine room is still all torn up, but they are at the final stages. But we've got so much stuff that's in the boat that needs to be in the engine room and put back together. The bikes, the fridge needs to be like cleaned out. It's just been aired out. Just weird stuff like baskets that had, mildew and mold. So yeah, that's it. Haven't put the beds together because we want to probably do the laundry one more time. But every single room you go into is, at least, except for this one, I did clean this one. I got this one all organized today. Also, too, after just starting the loop, like some of the things we thought we were going to need, we didn't need. So, like our pantry, I kind of been redoing our pantry a little bit. Like our bedroom is none of the beds are made. We're going to do one last laundry shot before we go. But yeah, I've got damp rid hanging in the closets, staying positive, and I'm just, staying positive, just cleaning.
It is Friday. Today is supposedly splash day. I'm not 100% confident that it will be far enough along to go in the water today, but it's possible. The actual craftsmen who have been working on the boat this week have blown me away. They've been kind, aggressive on the project, and everyone is doing what they can to get the boat in the water. We may have just guessed the schedule wrong by a day or so. So if it doesn't go in today, maybe it's tomorrow. I'm not sure, but I'm heading down to the boatyard now and really try and get a grasp from all the different departments. If today's our day, it would be great by the end of today if we were sitting in a slip at the marina. Once we get in the water, the boat has to sit for 24 to 48 hours to just sort of reacclimate to the water. When a boat is on the hard, it takes a different shape. When it sits in the water, the boat takes a different shape. So we need all of the new fiberglass and all the new repairs to kind of relax and go back into place, so that early next week we can get another engine alignment and get some of the final tweaks done inside the boat before we sea trial it in the middle of next week. Fingers crossed that Andromeda gets in the water today, and if not, she's really close. New shaft, new strut. The strut is embedded in ProSet, which creates a little mold or custom formed mold to sit in. So they'll drop the shaft back down, peel the foil off, and there will be a resin cavity for the strut to sit in. I'll coat that with 5200 and then reinstall the strut. Rudder's in. Did a really nice job on the stuffing box. Port rudder and the rudder bar all back together. Looking good. Over here is the top of the strut with all the fresh fiberglass work. The strut is bolted into place below. You can see the engine, the port engine, is 99% put back together. That's a good thing. It's been a hell of a week. You did a hell of a job. That's our new transducer, and all the repairs are done around the old transducer, ready to be primed and painted. Am I disappointed the boat did not go in today? Yes, we had planned on this Friday being splash day. I am not at all disappointed with the guys who worked on the boat. There was Ryan, who worked on the driveline, Brett, who works in the yard and helped Ryan with the driveline. Nate is the mechanic that's been working in the engine room. Kilker and Tim and Rick and Daphne and their team who did the fiberglass work have been incredible. Clint from Boca Marine, who's been doing the electrical. Everyone, all of the craftsmen who have been at work on the boat have been absolutely fantastic and really tried to make this day happen, make splash day today. It didn't happen. I kind of saw it coming. It sounds like they're going to do a little Saturday work, and that by the end of the day, Monday, is our new date for splash day. I'm not going to say absolutely because nothing's been absolute so far. We're going to head back down there tomorrow at the yard. Again, I'm going to do what I can to help, both organizationally and physically if they need my help. Sometimes it's better if I stay out of the way, and sort of prep to get this boat sitting in the water Monday. So right now, Monday's our new splash day. We might still get a sea trial later next week, and we may still be underway next week. We had originally planned on sort of Thursday of next week heading out of here. It may be Thursday, Friday, Saturday. We may still pull that off. So not a huge setback, and I have no complaints with the guys that did the work. They've been fantastic. I couldn't ask for better guys. So we've taken the strut back down. They used a hardening epoxy called Pro Set to create the right angle and the bed for the strut to sit in. Instead of shims, this is sort of the better way to do it. Then the strut sits at just the right angle, and this is hard now, and anytime you put it up there, it'll be perfectly aligned. So took it back down. I'm gonna rough this surface up, rough that surface up, coat it all with 5200, and then install the strut. There's the new strut, all mounted in place, 5200, all sealed in there good. Got that done this morning, so that 5200 will cure up over the weekend. Be ready to splash Monday, hopefully. That is the top of the strut inside the lazarette, or the rear part of the engine room. It was Brett's idea to put that brass plate on top in here to sort of spread out the load. We all like that idea, but that is the top of the strut, all bolted back in place with all the fiberglass repaired. So the strut is in place and ready to go. Well, Kathy and I say Kathy and I, probably Kathy, are gonna attack some of the bottom paint. Got most of the bottom paint done, but everywhere there was a jack stand, we moved the jack stand over to finish that. You can kind of see the line where they stopped the bottom paint. We're going to finish all that, hit the primed areas. Going to paint the strut and the rudders with a product called Shark Skin. Going to paint these up just so they're protected. I want to get that done this afternoon so it can sit for at least 24 hours. Still targeting putting the boat in the water Monday.
This is after like tons of acetone. Next time we were just saying, why didn't we put gloves on? We have so many disposable gloves on board. My hands are way worse than Bob's too. I'm a messy painter. Look at my arm.
Oh my goodness.
And he just smears.
You can't even get in my truck that way.
I know. Checking my face for paint splotches.
Yeah. Well, we are wrapping up a Saturday, the Saturday after we were supposed to go in the water. But we had a lot of good progress. Again, Brett, who basically runs this Orange Beach yard, spent the day with us. We got the strut mounted. Kathy got some things off the list inside to get us ready to go in the water. And I say we, mostly Kathy, got the bottom painting done. So again, everything underneath the boat that is keeping us from going in the water is getting knocked off the list. So we're going to come down for a few hours tomorrow, but that's it for today. Time for a shower and a drink and some food.
Yes.
It is a beautiful sunny Sunday morning. We are heading down to Andromeda to finish up the bottom paint and hopefully work with Brett to get everything underneath the boat ready to set in the water tomorrow. So that's our plan. We would love to be cruising on down the coast today, but we're going to finish this up and make sure Andromeda's done up right and get some things done today. See all the black shark skin paint we put on the metal last night, all dried. It's looking good. New rudder on the port side, new strut. Looks like the 5200 is set up, so we're going to prime that and paint it with the shark skin. That's what we paint the metal with. And then we got one touch-up spot there where the stand was in the way for bottom paint, and one little spot down at the shaft log. And the bottom paint should be done and basically ready to go in the water. Well, here we are. It's Monday. We spent the whole weekend down here working on the boat. Kathy organizing the inside and crawling around underneath painting. And luckily, Brett here at the yard, who's been a real savior in this process, came in and worked Saturday and Sunday and got everything underneath the boat ready to go in the water. And I helped him as best I could. So it was a busy weekend. We're exhausted. But here we are Monday. And hopefully today is splash day. Hopefully. So we'll see how today goes. Spending the morning cleaning and just waiting to go in. We're waiting for the mechanic to get back here now, and supposedly they're going to put us in the swing and put us in the water. Lots of cleaning and wiping stuff down. Startup. First time in over 100 days. She's purring. All the numbers look good. Got good water flowing out. Sitting in the boat well. It has been over 100 days, and to stand on this bridge with these engines running, I'm at a loss for words. It's just, it's incredible. There she is. She's at the dock behind me. That's our slip for the next couple days while we let the hull flex back into shape, and they'll come in and do some final engine alignments. But we are officially in the water and floating. I'm going to get my truck, and here in the next hour or two we will move back on the boat. I just have no words. It's finally. Today is Wednesday morning, and it's sort of the final punch list day on the boat. Nate from Mechanical has already been here to finish a few little items on the engine. Brandon from Systems is here hooking up our air conditioning unit for the bridge that was disconnected, and we found that the port engine battery is now dead or dying. So he checked all that, and we're getting a new port engine battery put in. If you remember, right before we left, I had to put in a starboard battery, so I should have just done them both. But anyway, we're here, and we're going to get that done. So a lot of little punch list items today. They're going to come do a final engine alignment. Kathy is doing some provisioning, some laundry. Tomorrow is 10 a.m. sea trial, where we'll go out with surveyors and Brett from the yard here and just make sure everything's copacetic, get a good after survey, both to satisfy the insurance company and for us to help maintain the value of the boat, knowing that the repairs were done correctly. If everything falls into place here in the next 48 hours, Friday morning we will take off. We will head from here probably to Destin, which is about 55 miles away, and just see how things go, get anchored for the night, and hopefully everything's fallen into place. If it is, we are going to do an epic marathon run to the Bahamas. We have about a 5-day course charted out, if that all falls into place, but there'll be more on that to come. First things first is to get this sea trial done and get the boat underway. So things are going good this morning, and hopefully a lot gets done today.
All right, so we are testing batteries with an electronic tester. We're also going to put a carbon pile load tester on it also to check the battery levels.
Nice.
So I'm gonna first have to disconnect them.
So is that thing faking a load?
Kinda, yeah, it's just gonna read the deep cycle part of it.
Oh, I see.
In cold cranking amps. Replace battery. 14, 18 cold cranking amps. That doesn't mean it's totally bad yet.
Got it.
There's your first carbon pile load tester. This is basically going to simulate the engine's load
Okay.
on it, and then it'll give us a readout of what it's doing.
Got it. So that little unit there is pressurizing the bridge AC unit that got reinstalled. And you can see our dead battery goes over there. Should have replaced that before, but we are replacing it today. Well, good morning. Today is test drive day, or sea trial day, and I think it's about 7:30 in the morning. Sea trial scheduled for about 10:30, and right to the wire. Saunders Yacht Works still with the terrible communication. We have a engine alignment that's not complete. He's been struggling down there he was down there 8 or 9 hours yesterday to do the final engine alignment and we still couldn't get it lined up. And today, early this morning, there's some techs here working on our house batteries. During the project, somebody had bumped the inverter and drawn the AGM house batteries all the way down to 0 and may have fried the batteries, but something's not right. The Victron is stuck in absorption mode. So here we are about 2 hours before the sea trial, and I've got techs working on the batteries that may be toast, the house batteries, and still got to complete an engine alignment. We have 2 surveyors coming. Our surveyor, Seth Mosley, who's incredible, and the insurance company's surveyor, all to head out on this sea trial. You can probably see behind me the wind is kicked up to add an extra layer of nerves to the whole thing. So we'll see how this morning comes together, but it doesn't sound like the boat's quite ready to pull out of the dock. I got 2 surveyors coming and no one is communicating with anyone once again. It's just been typical. It's just funny that right down to the end of the project, to the last day of sea trial, and still terrible communication and terrible scheduling. So we'll see how it goes. We're still hoping to get out and get a favorable sea trial and a final survey, and maybe even pull out of here in the morning and kick this loop back underway, because it's been a long time. So we'll see how today goes. Think you got it?
Yes. They're saying, I don't know if it's the salt, but all the snaps are harder to undo. So even we just washed the boat. I don't know. This might be a thing. Or my finger strength isn't as strong as it was 3 months ago. Gotta build it back up.
Well, good news. We got our house battery bank working. Brandon, future looper from Saunders, great guy. We had a nice time last couple days talking and catching up. Came down, disconnected some cables off the house bank and tested each battery, and each battery checked out. It was up to full voltage. He put a load on it, tested correctly, and when we hooked everything back up, we got our old friend Bob Campbell on the phone from Maryland, who helped us design the system, and he talked us through a few things, and miraculously, just by disconnecting each battery and hooking it back up, the system must have rebooted. The amps going in went down to a normal level, and the charger went into float mode. Problem solved. So the house battery systems are up and running. It is now 2:30 in the afternoon and the engine alignment is complete. He came down, had it done within a couple hours. The 2 surveyors headed out to other jobs. The electrician from Boca Marine was here and he took off to another job. So the engine alignment is done. I texted everybody and somehow they're all coming back. I'm just, what great guys, but they're all on their way back. So about an hour from now, about 3:30 in the afternoon, we will depart here and get the sea trial done. Should this sea trial come back successful and all systems are working good, we should get the all clear here within a matter of hours to get back underway. So fingers crossed. It's never falls into place like you think, but it is somehow fallen into place.
Dream team, just no say your names. I figured Bob would want me to.
Sea trial.
This is our dream team. Yes.
We made it back.
Sea trial.
Everything is good, so.
Looking good. All right, let's see what these guys think. Oh, my dog's in panic mode.
I'm gonna get up to you.
This is our dream team. Saving Andromeda.
We just got back. It's about 6 o'clock. It's just getting dark here in Orange Beach. We just got back from our sea trial, and we are out of here. We're back.
Good.
We're back, baby. We took it out the channel, ran through a bunch of tests. We had both surveyors, the mechanic Nate, our buddy Brett from the yard, Jamie from Boca Marine, all came on the boat. We went through all the tests and got 2 favorable surveyors saying that, hey, see ya, go ahead, take off, you're good to go.
Yeah.
So we're calling it good. We're sure probably some bugs here and there to work out. I don't care right now. I want to get moving, and it's been such a long road, and I don't even know what to say. We're clear. We're out of here. So
We're going. We're looping again.
we're on the loop. We're on the loop. Our last night in Orange Beach with the best people we met in Orange Beach. Cheers. It is Friday. We have passed all of our sea trials. They even came this morning, did a few extra checks, and everything is good. So we are clear to leave. We are running up to Foley, Alabama today to their Secretary of State to register the new Mr. Furley, because we can't do a state of Michigan registration unless we're there in person, and it's taking forever, and we don't want to get hung up trying to get into the Bahamas with an unregistered boat. So that's what's happening this morning. Then we are leaving our truck at our surveyor's office. Seth Mosley, kind enough to let us leave it there, and we'll transport it over to some friends who will drive it back to Michigan for us. Thank you, Brian and Peyton and Ian, for doing that for us. But we're going to run some errands this morning and watching the weather, and hopefully maybe making a move this afternoon. So we'll see how the morning goes.
Yeah.
Today did not go 100% as planned, but we got quite a bit done. We've got our new dinghy registered here in Alabama. We dropped off our truck at our surveyor's office. We're back to live aboard, no vehicle. And I don't know if today is the official start of our loop, because we moved, I don't know, about 800 feet. We moved from our slip over to the fuel dock, where we topped off our tanks and pumped out so that we can leave right at dawn tomorrow. We had originally thought about going...
Well, it's been raining here since yesterday, last night, and watching the radar, it was supposed to start storming, thunderstorms, about 4:35, and then through the night. So about 1:30, we're debating about going, but it was raining pretty good from 1:30 to 3. So I think we made the right call, but we just didn't want to be out in the ICW in a thunderstorm. I'm glad we waited, because I think that was...
Me too.
I'd rather have a a fresh start tomorrow. We're just gonna pull right out of here and go, and it's gonna feel so much better than trying to worry about a thunderstorm.
I agree. We would have been pushing it, and we had so many loose ends to so much business to take care of. By the time we got back and pumped out and fueled up and got out of here, we'd have been pushing to make any anchorage by dark, and it was raining. So now tanks are full. We're pointed right out of the marina. We have 4 lines to drop, and we can take off right at dawn tomorrow. So tomorrow morning at dawn, we ride.
We ride.